Hi guys, hello and welcome to Gemini season. So let's talk a little bit, shall we please, about Gemini season, which begins on Thursday, the 20th of May and goes through the 20th of June of 2021. The sun moves into Gemini at about 2:25 Central Time. The moon is in Virgo, squaring the North Node in conjunct Saturn and Chiron, trining Uranus and sextiling Mars, right? So there's a lot of action in Gemini right now. At the beginning of Gemini season are the Sun, the North Node, Venus, and Mercury. Mercury, who is queuing up to go retrograde himself. Saturn is queuing up to go retrograde. But I think that the most influential aspect at the moment of the beginning of Gemini season is that our 0-degree Gemini Sun will be squaring a 0-degree Jupiter Pisces. Pisces Jupiter. Yeah, let's say it the right way, Eileen. So Jupiter in Pisces is really about opportunities, right? Opportunities from the depths, right? For expansion in the most glorious internal way, right? It's about bringing the subconscious to light. It's about finding ways to bring our deepest, almost almost imperceptible or uncommunicative, uncommunicatable, right? That's Pisces is better felt than spoken. And so when we're talking about Jupiter in Pisces, we're talking about things that are hard to communicate. And so the sun moving into Gemini, right? Gemini is all about communication. It's about data processing, right? Gemini has every possibility, every potential, right? Is that first inception of air energy. Gemini sees it all, right? They definitely can be prone to overanalysis, right? But they are the ultimate multitaskers. Super quick witted, super quick in speech, right? Really curious, restless, right? Very persuasive because they have that gift of just super fluid, dynamic speech. And as such, they are all about the tea, right? They know everything. The problem with Gemini can be that so much data can present problems. So much data can present problems, which is true. It's really true for Gemini. They are very imaginative, but they're also prone to give so much credence to their imagination that they don't notice what's really happening in front of them. Right? There's a concept of contradiction, manipulation of data, manipulation of facts, because they're so intellectual that it can be a challenge, right? Geminis can be moody because their imaginations get the best of them and run away with them, and they end up telling themselves things that aren't true, and their imaginations are so so powerful and so much the director of their state of being that sometimes they get lost in their own imagination, which is I mean, tragic, because they shape their lives around things that are inaccurate, right? Just an assessment in the brain. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening. The keys to this Gemini season, though, are mostly about being aware of not jumping to conclusions, right? We have about a week in this Gemini season before Mercury goes retrograde, right? And the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. So that is going to really affect this Gemini season. We have a Sag new moon, right, coming up on the 26th. And then on the 29th, Mercury goes retrograde, conjunct Venus, right? And that conjunction is also in conjunct Pluto and the moon. So my take on this entire Gemini season is going to be about really balancing what's in your head and what's in your heart, because our communications are going to be, they're going to have to be accurate. And in order to be accurate, they have to be aligned, right, in your heart center, or you are not speaking your truth, you're speaking your thought. And there's a big difference, right? We have been talking about I think, therefore I am, versus I feel, therefore I am. And this is that time to really lean into that concept of being heart-driven, because brain-driven is not going to get it done. With that Mercury retrograde during Gemini season, your communications are going to be imprecise. And with Jupiter in Pisces, you are being asked to really expand inwardly. And right, we've got Pluto in retrograde, we've got Saturn getting ready to go retrograde, we've got Mercury queuing up to go retrograde. This is about the internal work. It's about what you're doing inside, not what's happening outside. Don't be distracted, right? Gemini has that ADHD squirrel capability of being in one thought and then getting directed somewhere else, right? So let's talk about this right here. So Ace of Swords and Five of Wands. So Ace of Swords are those ways that we get our ideas, our new thoughts from the universe. They're handed off, they must be accepted and put into action. The Five of Wands is an energy of like posed conflict, right? Nobody's actually in battle, but they're thinking about it, right? They're thinking about that. It's just about being contrary for contrary's sake. And if that's the way you're going to accept new ideas, they can't be a battleground, right? They have to be in alignment. You must be in alignment with your new ideas. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to take any action. And wands are about inspired action, right? They're about how you put your juice into the world. And if you're not putting your juice into the world, then you're just putting your conflict into the world. And let's face it, nobody wants that. We get those ideas because we're supposed to do something with them, right? Not just grind on them. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. We've got the Four of Wands and we've got the Page of Cups. Four of Wands is, right, so backing up a little bit to the idea itself, to the feeling itself, right, to how we feel as we deal with this. You know, this is that card of divine balance, that card of, you know, some people call it the soulmate card, divine union. It's about how you put your plans into action and create your happy life. What is your happy life? What does it look like? And whatever it looks like to you is most important, right? And how do you know what it looks like? Well, because you know what it feels like. Pages are new opportunity. Pages are new ways to feel. They might be people who inspire or bring you new ways to feel, or people who teach you what love feels like, so that you're able to better define what your image of total life as love looks like, right? It's not I think, therefore I am. It's not. I mean, that is a piece of life, but that's not living, right? And that's why we're in conflict with that. This is I feel, therefore I am. I'm stealing a phrase from a friend of mine. I love, therefore I am, right? That's the Four of Wands. That's the Four of Wands plus the Page of Cups. And so how are you creating that? how are you fighting it? Let's ask that question. How are you fighting it? That's the most important question you can ask yourself. And what idea do you have to get rid of or cut away in order to be able to live it, right? Gemini season, beware of jumping to conclusions. Deal with your inner feeling growth, right? Not your external posed growth. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, guys, sorry. All right, moving on. So we have the Empress and Temperance. So the Empress is that energy, first of all, of fertility, right? Of every possibility, of every potential. This is the energy of seeing it all, of being it all, right? Of having that boundless, infinite, limitless, bottomless depth, just like Gemini energy. Temperance is about let's try something new, right? How do we create something new? Well, you know, how do you create something new? You do something you've never done before. And so if that means that we have to dive into those Jupiter and Pisces depths in order to find the appropriateness of our heart's desire seeds to plant, then that's what we do, right? We temper our beliefs, we temper our feelings, we temper our thoughts about those feelings, perhaps our judgments about those feelings, and trust the divine nature of what's happening. As Gemini season rolls through, there's a lot of opportunity to recreate, right, that ideal self from the depths. That Gemini sun energy allows us to really dig in to the infinite possibility, to the divine opportunity that is being offered to us, right? As long as we get out of our own way, as long as we keep our eyes on the prize, so to speak, and know what it is that we want to plant. And again, I say, how do you get something that you've never had? Well, you give up all the ways that you've stood in your own way in the past. How do you do that? Change your mind, y'all. Change your mind, change your life. All right, Queen of Cups. She's so fabulous. And Justice. Okay, so yeah, Queen of Cups. Remember that the Queen of Cups are the embodiment of the element. And so in Cups, we're talking about emotions, right? We've been offered a new way to feel. We've been offered new ways to believe how we feel, to understand and interpret how we feel. And we've been offered a new way to live our lives within alignment with our heart's desires. How do you do that? You balance, right? This is no secret that we're talking about swords and balance. You balance your internal state with your external state. You balance your heart with your mind. You balance the what you have versus what you desire. Right? And you don't jump to conclusions. We're going to have all of this retrograde energy, right? Pluto, Saturn, Mercury, and that's just now. You know, so by the time that this Gemini season moves into Cancer season, we'll have a lot of things to balance, a lot of opportunity to go within. You know, Pluto is still doing his thing in Capricorn, and we have some pretty weighty Pluto aspects during this process asking us, did you dive as far as you'd like to? Why don't you go a little further, right? And so the action of this Gemini season is going to be to dive into your own exploratory ideas, right? And then transcend those ideas, to transcend them, right? Caring connections, right? This is an interesting card for Gemini season, but not really when you take it in stride with all of the other aspects that are going on. And what you're being asked to do is not just meet the other in a deeper way, but to meet yourself in a deeper way, right? All this retrograde energy is offering you the opportunity to dive into yourself, so that when these opportunities to create and build new ways to live your life in that deeper connectedness, that you're prepared, right? That whole concept of only being able to meet another as deeply as you've met yourself, well, imagine that, right? Caring connections, friendship, partnership of two, possible love. Hello. This card shows a couple in a tender embrace, with the woman holding the blossoms of a new love. Like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card upright signals the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship, or even the appearance of a new love. It can also signify a formal business partnership. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunity to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be tender karmic connections at hand. And I would also like to say with Pluto, or with Jupiter and Pisces, absolutely, absolutely. That is such an opportunity for karmic and soul level growth. Absolutely. Everything is energy, including you. So please remember, as we move into Gemini season with all of these retrogrades, that if you're doing the energetic work, it will manifest in your actual life. And if you're not doing the work, it will also manifest in your actual life. But do the energetic work, right? That's definitely where the seeds get planted, and then they allow you to grow whatever you want, right? Whatever you're wanting to grow, you can. Whatever you're wanting to foster, you can. Whatever you're wanting to experience, because wands are a card of experience, right? Wands are about your real life. Cups are about your real feelings, right? So whatever you want is right here. Slow down, Gemini season, and pay attention. Use that curious energy. Use that opportunity to be fast-witted, fast-thinking, and really, really sheerly limitless in your potential for comprehension, so that you can process, right? And just make sure that you're always coming back to the concept of balance, 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 right? And know that it's all happening for you. Everything is energy, guys, including you. Happy Gemini season. We still have several more things to talk about this week. Yeah, it's all good. Just be in it, right? Be in it. Stay present. Big blessings.